Rod Rosentstein allegedly suggested secretly recording Trump and invoking the 25th Amendment. This should be easy to deny. Just take a page out of Trump's wouldn't Russia correction. Look, when I said he should be impeached, I meant shouldn't. And when I said we all should wear a wire, I meant watch the wire. And even if it's true, let's just accept everyone has a strong opinion on the president. He's like gluten. For some people, he's an integral part of their favorite things, and he's killing the rest of us. Also, Brett Kavanaugh's been accused of sexually assaulting a second woman decades ago. Democrats are stalling till they can interpret these new allegations. Republicans are stalling till they can think of new politically nuanced ways to call a woman a liar. And news outlets are stalling till they can find fresh stock photos of the nominee looking sad. How did they get those photos anyway? Judge, remember when Milo and Otis got separated? That'll do nicely, thank you. So after a hectic day of breaking news, we don't know if the Deputy Attorney General was fired, wasn't fired, will be fired, or if it's Stein or Steen. So it's safe to say the press really dropped the ball. A phrase I don't want to say too loud as it might give Brett Kavanaugh ideas. If you were fired, Solicitor General Noel Francisco would take over. Don't you hate it when you get invested in one character and they just replace him with someone new? Wait, this guy runs the Russia probe now and Ice Cube is the new XXX? Rosentstein didn't deny the original reporting he proposed wearing a wire and invoking the 25th Amendment, but carefully called it inaccurate and falsely incorrect. Yeah, so was 300, but it still told a true story. My guess he was kidding, and I really need the administration to loosen up, because if you guys can't take a joke, then the 137-minute-long episodes of this show just ends up being 2 hours of me calling the president an asshole. Which is actually a completely different show I do. The UN laughed at Trump during his speech when he boasted his accomplishments. You see, you want the national dialogue away from Brett Kavanaugh's crotch. Nothing beats the addictive ritual of letting the president simmer for a bit till he finds his natural state, then injecting him where he doesn't belong and watching all hell break loose. Am I just describing heroin? Meanwhile, Brett Kavanaugh's crotch is like cocaine in that it's white, expensive, and having it shoved in your face ruined a lot of parties in the 80s. As an American, I'm embarrassed, but as a stand-up comedian, I give him credit for getting a solid reaction out of what is usually a tough room. Especially since he was late for the show and his feature act brought the room down with a bit about global disenfranchisement that got nothing. This is the exact opposite of Trump's campaign slogan that with him the world will stop laughing at us. It's like finding out the Allstate guy has eczema. You're in good hands. Trust me. Well, the most R-rated job interview ever continues as Brett Kavanaugh released his 1982 calendar to prove he wasn't a heavy partier, a sentiment slightly undercut by Beach Week! Brah, I was a bookworm back then, from Keguary all the way to Shottober. Nah. I'm kidding, Brett Kavanaugh seems like a completely normal guy who keeps calendars for 36 years in case he needs an alibi. Now there are more accusations from more women, which Kavanaugh calls something out of the Twilight Zone, because who could forget that one weird episode of the Twilight Zone where that guy gets accused of rape over and over? Wow, there's going to be a hell of a twist in this one. Nope, it's over. Trump defended Kavanaugh in a rambling press conference, calling the accusations a big fat con job, but that he's willing to listen, which is what I mutter every time the president starts talking. Millions watched yesterday's hearing, and after 9 hours of Christine Ford bravely recounting her traumatic experience with restraint and dignity and Brett Kavanaugh shouting conspiracy theories at the left, I think we should have a vote and put Dr. Ford on the Supreme Court. Wait, that was for the guy? Oh, God. Judge, I think you had a lot of good energy, but it's hard to convince the world you've never been belligerent while drinking beer if you're belligerent while drinking water. At one point, Kavanaugh erupted, "You'll never get me to quit," which is not what you say when you're accused of sexual misconduct. "Your Honor, I'll prove I didn't kill my coworkers with a knife. Just let me take a stab at the witness stand." Judge, I know this is something you really want, but if instead of angrily demanding what you're entitled to, you let Congress get to know you, they'll be more likely to give you consent. And let me say, whoever's job it was to get Kavanaugh not to look like an adolescent teenager, I'm happy you're getting work after being Russell Crowe's singing coach. Cool? Cool.